Namaste. I'm Nikita. Today I would like to talk about the lower self and the higher self. Now, when people come to me, they are often in a very unhappy place. They're very stuck. They describe this as being stagnant. They say that I'm not able to pursue my passions. I'm not able to do what I want in life. I'm just stuck in one place. If I make a little bit of progress, I then go back. So the reason being is because, unfortunately, most of us are operating from the lower mind. The lower self is a part of the brain that is our primal instinct, and that's there to keep us safe. So fear, lack, and anything negative comes from that place because it's trying to keep us in the realm of what's familiar, so our comfort zone. It's actually there to help us, although we feel like it's actually a hindrance. It's there to guide us. It's there to protect us, actually. Whereas the higher self is the intuitive part of the mind. It's the part that knows what's best for us in the long term. It's able to preempt things. It's our wisdom. It's also our intuition. So most of us have got this battle going on between our higher self and our lower self. And the problem that we face is our lower self talks very loudly and our higher self whispers. And that's why we find it difficult to differentiate between the two. And often we describe this as there are like two voices in my head and I don't know which one to listen to. Other people say I'm being pulled and pushed in different directions. And what we really need to do is, first of all, be able to discern between the two. So you need to identify, first of all, who is talking to me, where am I operating from at any given time. And the way to do this is to check in with the body, because the body and the mind are connected, as we know. So when something's going on in the mind, it will reflect in our body. So for example, if you feel fear in your mind, your body reacts. So your heart might start racing, you might get a really uncomfortable feeling in your stomach. If you're going for a job interview and you're really nervous, if it's not meant for you, if it's the job that's not right for you, then your body will tell you. Now that doesn't mean that you're nervous about all job interviews, because if the job was right for you, then you would feel really positive about it, even if you are someone who doesn't enjoy interviews. That's why it's so important to know, where is this coming from right now? Is it my lower self trying to protect me and hold me back? Or is it my higher self trying to say to me that this is not right for you? And that's where we really struggle, first of all, to be able to understand which one is communicating with me and where am I right now? And then that's why we feel this pulling and pushing. So the solution to that is you step out of it. So you're no longer identifying with either one of those two states of minds. Instead, you become a third person. You become a neutral entity, if you like. And then you're able to look at both and you're able to say, okay, you are the lower mind. You're operating from fear right now and lack and negativity, and then you're able to look this way and say, actually, you're the higher mind and you're trying to pre-warn me that that's not going to be right for me, or that is what I should be doing. So it's about being able to navigate the space between these two states. In some cultures, they call this ego mind, the lower self. They also refer to it as the shadow self. You may have heard people do shadow work. And what that really means is just being able to eliminate that side of ourselves, but we can't get rid of it. What we can do is we can quieten it. So where right now the lower mind might be speaking quite loudly, or in some cases even shouting at us, the higher mind is whispering. What we want to do is reverse it, so that the higher mind is now the louder voice in our head, and the lower mind is now just whispering. So if I go back to my job interview example, if I'm going for a job interview, but it is right for me, my higher self will say, go for the interview. It's going to be a really good opportunity. You're so lucky that you've even got an interview. And that will reflect in my body, and I'll start to feel really excited. I'll get nervous. Yeah, of course, I'll have butterflies, but it's an excited nervousness. And then I'll start to feel fluttering in my chest, for example. So it will reflect. But then that little voice in my head, which I've now made to whisper, the lower mind will say, but what if you get late? What if you don't get parking? What if they don't like you? What if you're wearing the wrong clothes? So that little voice has now become quieter. And because we've got control over the higher mind is then in a position to say to the lower mind, it's okay, don't worry, I've researched where I'm going, I've got my sat nav, I know, it's okay. So there's that communication between the two. But I believe you can only really effectively communicate between the two when you step out yourself. If you're in one of those two roles, it's very difficult for you to be neutral. And so when you step out, you become this third person, you become this neutral entity, and you're able to then manage and control these two roles really well. One thing people do is they try to resist the lower mind, and they try to tell it off, and they try to shout at it and become aggressive with it. And that's not going to work. It's only going to make the lower mind get louder. Instead, don't react. Just be calm. And just remember that it's there to help you. It's not there to punish you. I know at times it feels like it's a hindrance. As I said, it's in our way. It's holding us back. You know, we've got so much potential, and yet we're not able to fulfill it because our lower mind is controlling us. So try this. Try stepping out and looking at both and being able to connect with the body and identify what's going on for me in the body. Ultimately, if it feels good in your body, it's a good thing. It's coming from the higher mind. If it feels really bad, if you feel really sick, if you feel really heavy, if you feel just like your shoulders are hunching, your face is like scrunching up, then it's coming from the lower mind. So check in with your body and be able to navigate both of these states of mind. I hope that this has been helpful to you. If it has, please comment below. I'd love to hear feedback. It motivates me to record more videos like this. Other topics that I talk about are manifestation, chakra balancing, and my favourite one of all, dharma. So have a look at my other videos. I am Nikita, Journey with Nikita. Thank you.